Hello everybody and welcome to Level 5, the YouTube channel where we love talking about movies, TV shows, video games and comic books. And in today's video I'll be ranking more Ben 10 aliens. We've done 3 videos so far. We've covered Ben's original 10, the extra aliens that appear in the original series, and Ben's new recalibrated Omnitrix playlist in Ben 10 Alien Force. And in this video I'm going to be ranking the aliens that are extra, if you will, in Ben 10 Alien Force going into Ultimate Alien. Ben doesn't get a new roster, a new playlist of 10 aliens in Ultimate Alien. He just keeps the 10 he has, gets given some of his old transformations, and of course, the focus is on the Ultimate Aliens forums. I will be doing the Ultimate Aliens in their own video, so don't worry, look out for that at some point. But in this video, we are going to be focusing on the extra aliens between Alien Force and Ultimate Alien. There are 13 new aliens. Now, I am not going to include Shock Squatch in this list. More so because he first showed up in the Generator Rex crossover, which, yes, I understand is UAF era, but Shock Squatch's actual first appearance in Ben 10 isn't until Omniverse, and they look completely different. So I'm going to be covering Shock Squatch in the Omniverse ranking because he's part of that playlist. So let's dive into our ranking of all 13 extra alien Ben acquires in Ben 10 Alien Force and Ultimate Alien. Starting off with our 13th spot, we have Eatle. Honestly, I don't really feel much for this character. I don't really like his design. I much prefer his Omniverse design. He looks more bug-like than that, at least. It's just Upchuck, and Upchuck has done so much better lore-wise, ability-wise, the way he's designed, the way his ability works. I just don't care for this alien, honestly. I actually just don't really think of Eatle, and I don't ever really mind when he's not around. He doesn't really show up in the video games or the comic books that we've had, and if he ever does show up in that new comic book that's coming out, good for him. But honestly, yeah, he's just a bug dude. We've got bugs already, and we've already got someone who eats things and just shoots out again. Yeah, I don't mind when aliens copy abilities, but this is just a lamer Upchuck at the end of the day. In my 12th spot, I have Nanomech. Honestly, I actually don't have a problem with Nanomech. Nowhere near as much of an issue as other people do. So many people hate this alien, and I don't see why. He's basically just the Wasp, and that's kind of cool. I mean, I like it that he's kind of like a reference to the Wasp. He's first introduced in the live-action movie Ben 10 Alien Swarm, which is kind of cool, the fact that we actually got an original alien from a movie that got transported into a cartoon. That's actually really awesome, and I like that a lot. His design is cool. He's a little bug-looking dude. I much prefer his live-action look than his cartoon look, for sure. And that being said, he's also does just shrink down. That's all he can do, and fly and shoot lasers. He's basically the Wasp if she was an alien. But I like that, though. He's a cool alien. He's a cool design. It's just every other alien I prefer. That's the only issue here in this specific list. But yeah, I don't hate Nanomech. I don't see why everyone does. In my 11th spot, we have Chameleon, or however you want to call it. I really hate this character's design in the sense of it's weird looking. It doesn't match the other aliens, but I would like it more if it was used. That's my biggest issue with this alien. He only is ever used, like, I think once after the alien's debut, because it's actually someone else. It's one of those moments where Ben meets an alien and then scans it. I really want to see more of this alien turning invisible, you know, blending in. Sure, not the first time we've had an alien that could turn translucent, transparent, and blend in with things. Ghost Freak and Big Chill obviously exist, but they had a whole episode dedicated to the origin of this alien, where the DNA sample comes from. and they do nothing with it, and it's painful. And I honestly would love to love this alien more, but they just never use him, show him, or anything. He's basically pointless. They had an amazing build-up. And the alien episode dedicated to the origin of the DNA sample is very intriguing, plays on the whole, like, you know, alien being kidnapped by humans and tested on or, like, experimented on or whatever, you know, very, like, you know, alien sort of related sort of storyline, but they just don't ever fall through with it, to be honest. He just exists and is forgotten about, and that's honestly really sad. My 10th spot goes to Fast Track. Yeah, I like Fast Track. I like Fast Track's design. I think he's a cool little feline character. And so what, we've got another speedster. He was meant to be Accelerate's replacement, but obviously that didn't happen because we already got Jet Ray replacing Accelerate, and Jet Ray is naturally faster, and not many people like this blue and black fur cat looking thing. Honestly, if they just changed the colours around so he wasn't blue and black just like Accelerate, I'd actually think this was a really cool alien. They could have given him the ability to maybe shoot fire, very similar to how, like, you know, we've seen before in other aliens or other characters that can shoot their, like, spike or, like, pines or whatever you want to call them. Like Arjit, for example. But we don't. It's just a fast alien. And I like him, okay? I really like Fast Track. He'd be high up on my list if it wasn't for the fact that the next 9 aliens are better than Fast Track. But Fast Track, honestly, I like the design. I like the fact that he's a fast alien. He looks cool. It's just a shame we don't get to see him more, honestly. I mean, Accelerate was brought back, thankfully. Jet Ray was completely discarded. It would have been nice if Fast Track got some limelight too. And that's my biggest issue with the 12th spot, the 11th spot, and the 10th spot, is the fact they're just not used. They're just there. Which I guess you'd have to, like, throw in, like, just some random aliens here and there. Sure, I get that. But, yeah, that's my biggest issue with those 3 points. But, honestly, yeah, I like Fast Track. Hate me in the comments. It's all good. Our 9th spot goes to Clockwork. I think Clockwork's a really cool alien. He's manipulating time itself, and obviously it's a very important alien, and we don't, not only do we not get to see him, Ben use him multiple times, but we see younger Ben turn into it, and we also see Ben 23 turn into Clockwork as well. Obviously, Ben 23 calls him something else, but we get to see multiple versions of Clockwork, which I really appreciate. And not only that, one of our big bads in Omniverse is actually the same race, which is really cool too. He has the ability to manipulate time, you know, freezing it, rewinding it, shooting time blasts and stuff, all sorts of fun things. I think his design is really cool. He's a big, bulky gold dude, but I think that works with the fact that his ability is time. Like, a lot of time manipulators in fiction can look really menacing, be really quick or fast. So the fact that his one time manipulating alien is this big hunk of metal is just funny. It just works, man. Such a cool alien. Yeah, Clockwork is honestly easily in the top 10 when it comes to the UAF extra aliens. Honestly, personally, I'd like to see more of him, but he is used a lot better than the last 4 spots that we've had. And yeah, only reason why he's not higher on the list is just because I prefer the aliens a bit more than Clockwork. That doesn't defeat the fact that he's a cool alien. He has a unique power, not really a lot of Ben's, okay, maybe Alien X, but yeah, Ben doesn't really have time manipulating abilities when it comes to aliens, and he can do quite some, like, he has some really cool moments. Our 8th spot goes to Water Hazard. Absolutely no problem with the next 8 aliens, honestly, and it was actually quite hard to rank these in a specific order. I love Water Hazard. I think it's really cool. He can obviously swim, and he can manipulate water, and I love the whole idea of holes in his palms he can shoot water out of. I've always found that interesting. I like the whole water manipulating ability type thing, and it kind of works well with the rest of the Andromeda 5 aliens, because there's water, electric, wind, earth, and not fire per se, but it's radiation, so I guess that kind of counts. So it's kind of cool that we have a representation, help if I can speak England, a representation of all of the aliens when it comes to their elements. You know, the elements all represented nicely. And yeah, War Hazard's a cool time. Obviously, the Andromeda 5 are all actual characters in the series of Ultimate Alien, and Ben has to scan each one, which again is really cool. I like it when we get that, when Ben meets an alien, helps them or whatever, and the Omnitrix then scans them, or in this case, Automatrix then scans them. And like I said, I like his design. I love the red, and I love the fact that he's got like some sort of hood-looking thing. His Omniverse design ain't too bad either. I do like the more weird body proportions for Omniverse Water Hazard. He looks more amphibian-esque, he looks more aquatic, kind of like crustacean looking. So yeah, honestly, really cool character, love the water abilities, and he was really fun to play as in the game. Our 7th spot goes to NRG. I really like the idea of NRG. The fact that the alien himself lives inside the big hunk of metal suit thing, that's really clever. And not only that, the Ultimatrix at this point not only scans the alien, but copies the suit as well, allowing him to keep everyone safe from the radiation that NRG gives off. Because the dude's just living radiation at this point. He's living just hot, and yeah, obviously if a human was around him for too long in his natural form, you're fucked. So I do like the fact that NRG kind of like the Ultimatrix copies NRG's hunk of metal thing, and his Omniverse design's also really good. I think I prefer the Omniverse design a bit more because it makes him a bit more clunky, which is kind of cool. It's funny how the NRG actual alien is just really thin red thing, and he's in a massive block of metal. And that's cool too. NRG was used loads in Omniverse. I didn't realize he was that, like, important or, like, popular, but he was used a lot more than the other Andromeda aliens. I'm not complaining. I like NRG. I think he's a cool character, really good concept as well. I really wish they did more things like that, where the Omnitrix had to make something to allow Ben to be that alien. Because it did make clothes for people, which was kind of weird. But, you know, I like the whole NRG kind of like lore and stuff. I really wish we got to see their home planet. In our 6th spot, we have Amphibian. I love this blue dude. Ben has a lot of electric aliens. I mean, a lot of electric aliens. There's a whole episode in Omniverse dedicated to all of his electrical-based aliens. And Amphibian's one of them. But difference is, he's also tangible or something, you know, and he's got blue lightning, which makes him different too. I like the whole jellyfish, squid-looking body proportions to him. He looks even more so in Omniverse. Again, I really like his design in Omniverse. I think it's a nice shift. Really cool alien. The alien that of the Ultimatrix scans is also really cool. I like him as a character. I like the blue colors and the texture. He looks squishy. Like, it looks like if I did this to his face, he'd squishy, like squishy, 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 squishy. You know? But yeah, this goes, I cannot speak today, god damn it! This alien is really cool. Flies around, and of course is electrical base, and he's one of the only characters who has lightning or electrical powers that is blue, and it's a gorgeous shade of blue as well. I think, yeah, Amphibian's a cool character. He doesn't get a lot of love, but he is used in some occasions, which is nice to see. And, yeah, just, like I said, squishy, 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 squishy. He's funny. My 5th spot is going to piss a lot of people off. Jury Rig. I love Jury Rig so much. I think this alien's phenomenal and would have been put up higher if it wasn't for the next 4 aliens. I'm going to say that a lot in this video. And I love his Omniverse design. It's one of the times where I'm glad the original, like, the actual proper Omnitrix makes clothing for aliens, or at least some form of clothing for the aliens, and I really like his Omniverse design way over his UAF. His UAF just makes him look like a little demon-looking dude, but his Omniverse design is gorgeous. Absolutely phenomenal. Jurig's whole ability is to literally build things out of anything. What a really unique power. It actually makes him quite smart, but it also comes in handy. This dude makes twin cannons out of a vehicle or something on those lines. It's an absolute amazing little dude. And yeah, hate me, it's my opinion, this is my list, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, Jury Rig is absolutely phenomenal. The end of story. I'm not even gonna argue my point. Jury is so much fun, and I really love his Omniverse design. When it comes to an alien getting completely redesigned into Omniverse, Jury is easy in the top 5. 110%. Going into my 4th spot, that would be Armadillo. Armadillo is a lot of fun. really like this character getting something like an armadillo, giving it drills. Where have I heard this before? I don't know. Anyway, Armadillo is really cool. I like the yellow. I like the fact that all the Andromeda aliens are completely different colors as well as their power sets. Most of them are bulky, but that's fine. Armadillo obviously had the piston things that go in and out of his arm, which is really cool, and his hands can come drills. He was a lot of fun to see in certain scenes. Kind of a shame that most of the time it is just to cause earthquakes or drill through something. It'd be kind of cool to see him in proper fights, but he was fun in the game. Armadillo is like just really unique when it comes to design. He's not the only bulky alien. Sure, there are other bulky aliens too. His head is very armadillo-esque, and the name Armadillo is just such a sick name. When it comes to Ben naming his aliens, Armadillo's definitely one of the best ones. It literally just gives you straight away, it's an armadillo with a drill, but it just rolls off the tongue really well. Armadillo. Works really well. His powers are very basic, sure, you know, he can cause earthquakes and drill through things, but again, it's still fun and unique. We haven't had a character like that before, and the transformation of this big yellow dude, you know, being the actual main alien that Ultra Matrix scans isn't like a massive, like, fighter or anything. I like the way that Ben uses him after that fact. It's almost like he doesn't want to fight with Armadillo, kind of like he's paying respects or not. Maybe I'm looking too far into it. Going into my top 3, my third spot is Lodestar. I think Lodestar's amazing. Love the design, love the fact his head floats in the middle of like these weird, like, you know, almost like a pincer shape, like pylon thing, and his head just floats there. Absolutely awesome. And his powers are unique. Sure, magnetism isn't new to fiction. We have the likes of Magneto to give us that. But the fact that we finally have a character that can do that sort of stuff, and I love the way his abilities are designed. They're like little rings that pulse off his pincer-like hands to allow him to manipulate metal. And I love the transformation sequence. Really unique transformation sequence for Alien Force and Alien when it came to Lodestar. I also liked his voice too. Lodestar! Really, really cool. Shame we never got him into a video game, because it'd been cool to see what sort of like metal manipulation type of attacks we could have had and stuff. But yeah, Lodestar is a lot of fun, really unique. I love his Omniverse design again. I think he's translated really well. And one of Ben's most unique aliens, not only by design, but power set. He's got a very restricted power set, just a magnetism. You know, accelerates fast, but have you seen the way what Ben can do with it? Look at Cannonbolt, you know, Upchuck and stuff like that. There's lots of unique abilities, and I like the fact that Lodestar is one of the only characters we have that can lift things in the air and stuff. Sure, Gravitack exists, but that's gravity. Ben doesn't have another alien that can manipulate metal via magnetism. I would have loved to seen his alien planet too. In my second spot, we have the big homage to some famous person, fictional character smushed together into a serial mascot, and we have Wrath. Wrath is absolutely awesome. I think this character is genius, and every time he's on screen, he's an absolute delight. Wrath, obviously, is Hulk Hogan, Wolverine, and Tony the Tiger fused into one. Just the way he talks is fantastic. You know, let me tell you something, you know, is absolutely amazing. I think that his introduction episode is also fantastic, and Ben is stuck as Wrath for like 90% of the flippin' episode. And also, we learn in Omniverse that he's meant to be wearing clothes, which is great. Also, I brought up the Generator Rex crossover beginning of the video. His design in that is beautiful. He translated really well into that crossover, the realistic firelight moving and stuff. Yeah, honestly, Wrath is a lot of fun, and we do get to see him quite a lot too. He's a fan favorite. He got brought in a lot in you know, going through the UAF era and going into Omniverse. We see Wrath with a lot of our favorite characters like Kevin, Gwen, Rook, and things. So yeah, seeing Wrath a lot is fun. Obviously, his power sets are pretty basic, cat-like reflexes, so you can bounce around like a feline. He's got one single claw on each knuckles, and he's pretty durable. Like, he does get smacked around and he's fine, and he's pretty strong too. So power set wise, very basic, but it's the characteristics that really make this alien shine, and it is one an example where the Omnitrix can influence Ben's like emotions and stuff, and Wrath is just always angry at everything. And yeah, every time this dude opens his mouth, it's either brilliant or funny or a bit of both. Which means my number 1 spot, which may confuse some people, but don't forget this is my list, but obviously let me know what your list is down below in the comments, is Terra Spin. I have a place in my heart for this alien. First off, I love turtles. Who doesn't love turtles? But Terra Spin is really unique in the way that he works. Again, really bulky alien. A lot of UAF extra aliens are bulky, I've noticed this. He's a big turtle that walks on 2 feet, and his hands are massive, like, his arms and hands are just massive flippers. But it's his ability that I like. The fact that he can tuck his head in, and his torso opens up to kind of like ventilation shafts, and he can rotate his legs combine into another fin, but he rotates and he can blast air, which he can also use to fly if he aims downward. It's a really unique ability, but it's not just a unique ability, it's really unique in the way it's done. He's got to rotate his arms and his 2 feet, which combine into a fin, which also means that his arms and legs can rotate in general, which blasts air. I love it. I love it when something really simple like that can be such a good idea. Honestly, one of the best designed functions for an alien when it comes to their power sets. Something really similar that I really like is it accelerates mask that, you know, slides down. I like the little attention to details and the little nitpicky like things like that. And Terra Spin is also really cool. Like I said, his head tucks in and he rotates, and that's how his powers activate. He's also a gentle soul, the alien that the Ultra Matrix scans, and he doesn't want to fight anybody. You know, he's just a guy. Yeah, at the end of the day, he's just a dude who got in prison. He's not like a evil dictator or, you know, someone who's willing to go to war for anybody or anything. He's just a nice, calm dude. And I really do love Terra Spin. I think Terra Spin's a really unique alien. I love the design of him. I don't mind it when an alien looks more animalistic, like Wrath, for example. If you notice, he's in my 2nd spot. I don't mind things like that, but Terra Spin's taking the idea of a turtle. They could have just made him a water-based creature. I mean, Pokemon have done it thousands of times, so have Digimon. Things like this, they take turtles and tortoises and think to themselves, hey, yep, that's water or land. No, Ben 10 decided to go the different route and make it wind. Something that tortoises and turtles have nothing to do with, by the way. They're land creatures and turtles can swim. Like, they have nothing to do with air, wind, manipulating hurricanes or anything, and that's what they did with Terra Spin. I love the green in him as well. The green is really good. It's different to Ben's usual shade of green, because obviously the whole Ben 10 aesthetic is green, and he's just bright enough to be different, and I like that a lot. I appreciate that. And yeah, overall, Terra Spin is my favorite extra alien in the UAF era. And that is all 13 extra aliens ranked. Of course, like I said, this is my list, and I hope you appreciate that. But by all means, let me know how you'd rank all 13 aliens in the comments down below. My next Ben 10 ranking video will be the Ultimate Aliens, and then we'll go into the Omniverse set as well, because more or less he had a good handful of aliens. It may not be a whole 10. Actually, no, I think it is a whole 10. And then maybe what I'll do is rank, like, my top 5 favorite Omniverse redesigns or something if you guys want to see that. But yeah, there we have it, all 13 extra aliens in the UAF era, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. With that being said, do let me know what other things you'd want me to rank, sorry, I can't talk England today. Let me know what you guys want me to rank next. Of course, it could be anything from Marvel, DC, comic books, video games, etc, etc. And of course, I will do my best to note it down and try and do it at some point. With that being said, hit the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell. Go check out the rest of the channel. There's lots of different things that I've done, rankings, reviews, and ratings, and explanation videos, and all sorts of stuff. So go make sure you check all that out. I do love you all. We're with passion, everybody, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye.